Tillman Hall, otherwise known as Clemson University's most famous building, was built in 1893. Tillman Hall was once known as the main building, but nowadays people are starting to wonder if they should go back to calling it the main building or giving it an alternative name. So why is this a problem today? The answer is through time, through the change of history, through the ways in which South Carolina has changed. Clemson University was founded as the Clemson Agricultural College. It opened as an all-white male military school. It opened in 1893 with 446 students. Eventually, the university became coeducational. It became a civilian institution in 1995. A hidden truth about Clemson's construction was its use of 700 convicts as the labor, most of which were African Americans. A known correlation between Benjamin Tillman and the African American convicts was that of the 18-year-old Frank "Duck" Mason Jr. A U.S. Representative, Eli Thomas Stackhouse, a friend of Governor Tillman, sent a letter to his friend and fellow trustee requesting a pardon for Frank "Duck" Mason Jr. Several months passed before a pardon was done. However, with the admissions of Harvey Gantt, an African-American student, Clemson University began its path of desegregation. And just like that, Clemson University began to tear down its walls, and it was able to bring new rise to inclusion, to desegregation. However, with time, people did not stand up. They did not say anything against Tillman, but soon enough, history would say otherwise. On May 25th, 2020, Black Lives Matter protests broke out for the death of George Floyd during a police arrest. This sent a tidal wave across the nation, seeking justice for all Black lives. So what does Black Lives Matter have to do with Tillman Hall? Well, Tillman Hall was named after Benjamin Tillman, and Benjamin Tillman is known to have used slaves and was known for his support of white supremacy. Because of this, the name of Tillman Hall has gone through a controversy where students, alumni, and faculty of Clemson, along with politicians, are all debating and all trying to come to a conclusion and an agreement for the final name, for the final decision of Tillman Hall. Reason number one for changing Tillman Hall's name, according to Greenville News, is because Tillman Hall was named after a man who celebrated his racist and segregationist views. A black student, Edith Dunlap, called it, open quote, a slap in the face, end quote, every time she walks by Tillman. Reason number one against changing Tillman Hall's name is because Clemson University honors Tillman's contributions, not his character. According to one long history professor, Alan Grubb, Tillman's reputation is offensive. However, Southern history is offensive to many. Pro-name changers argue that Benjamin Tillman dishonors Clemson University's core values, and that by continuing to honor him, that by continuing to have him in the core construct of Clemson University, it prohibits and begins to limit the expansion and growth of diversity the campus can foresee in the future. Furthermore, since Tillman Hall advertises Benjamin Tillman It also indirectly advertises his morals of slavery and white supremacy. A group of faculty hope that by renaming the hall, Clemson University can forget about its history's bad figures. What better place to start than the most famous building at the heart of Clemson, said Clemson University's faculty. Con number 2 states that Benjamin Tillman cannot be removed from the history. Chairman E. Smith McKissick III spoke for Clemson's Board of Trustees by stating that Benjamin Tillman is a part of our history that cannot be changed or erased, but as a university we can decide how to honor that history properly and put that history into context, and tell that history in a manner that is consistent with our core values. Pro number 3 argues that the renaming of Tillman Hall is of the utmost priority for the Clemson University community, and that the repealment of the Heritage Act will allow for future community-based decisions to take priority. Con number 3 states a conflict of priority. Some state Senate legislatures believe the renaming of the Tillman Hall is a non-priority. State Senate President Harvey Peller commented on June 17, 2020, that changing the name of a stack of bricks and mortar is at the bottom of my to-do list. Among the many reasons stated in the debates, one thing that is equal, that is understood by all, that falls in the same principles, is the idea that history cannot be changed, cannot be altered, it cannot be foretold. However, it can be preserved and redirected into a different form. So why has this debate been dragged on? Why has nothing been done? Why have no decisions been met yet? It all boils down to the state's Heritage Act. It simply says that 2/3 of the state's Senate and the state's House of Representatives has to vote in order to change the name of any public building or alter historic monuments.